What are you ahhing for?
Ladies and gentlemen,
Knights won. I wish.
Hussein and Christopher here on the Back Yourself podcast, where I was 30 seconds away from getting the Back Yourself flag and planting it in the center of this fucking studio and claiming round 20 of the 2025 NRL season as the Back Yourself round. We were 30 seconds away.
But we were 1 second away.
Here comes Halasima to fuck us over again. That's twice this year. You bastard. Shout out to the Waz. The mighty Waz. There was nothing mighty about you motherfuckers today, but we'll get to you after we get through a full 8-game slate. What a round it was, Christopher. How are you, my friend?
Mate, we were 1 game away from 8 out of 8.
From perfection, almost.
Because we're the only...
Not as far as best bets, but as far as back yourself narrative.
In our tipping comp, out of 34 people, only one person tipped Manly, and that was me.
Put it here, mate. I'm gonna give you your flowers when that game comes. But
I had Knights as well, so it would have been a perfect round. But unfortunately,
you're some sort of magician.
Unfortunately, Knights go down to complete horseshit as far as I'm concerned. But you'll get my say. Obviously, Warriors fans are going to love this podcast because I'm going to yell at them again. But I'm past the point that you cunts are going to make the four.
Just to rattle off the quick ones, we got a Cowboys quit job, Souths quit job, poor Roosters.
Poor Roosters. We'll get to them.
A Parramatta quit job, and it wasn't much of a quit job, to be honest.
I've got so much to say about Roosters.
The Bulldogs have reigned a new era, and the statue is actually completely built now.
Of Sexton.
They fast forwarded after the Harbour Bridge ball. Later, Sexton. Nice knowing you, pretty
See you, bro.
We got the ambush of the
Smash
fucking...
my mic. That's how much of the
I don't know. What do you want to call it? The year, the century. Like you said, the only motherfucker that tipped them in the world was you on upset alert. And then we got... a Tigers, fuck me, boys. We'll get to you, Brett.
We'll get to Sunday. That was just
we got a Halasima dagger to end the round, but truly, I was about to put my Knights underwear on and come on the set, but I don't think I can do that.
Polo almost came back.
Even though they covered. But before we can talk about all of this crazy shit that's been happening, we got to go all the way back to Thursday night. Yeah. The mighty North Queensland Cowboys put a slight scare in the Dolphins in that last 10 minutes because... they don't know when they're done.
They scared me.
And they can fight their way back into any match. But what really scared me was the 60 minutes prior to that where they went out there and gave up, essentially. And I'm not sure there's much more to say about this game than that, Chrissy.
At some point, Todd Payton needs to watch this podcast. So, we've got Serraldo at this point.
He watches, yep.
There's a lot of...
He's subscribed.
I think Seabold subscribed with moving Turbo to centre. We've got a few coaches on our side. Knights, obviously, because they've put Gagai to fullback for our entertainment. Set point, someone has to tell Todd Payton about the podcast because if Labert runs out there one more time in a Cowboys jersey, I've seen everything. And all of this...
Labert had me genuinely out there missing Vialia.
Yeah, bro.
Fuck me.
I mean, look, okay.
Herbie's 13 out there.
Herbie's great, and Herbie is an elite player, elite centre, one of the best in the competition. But to make him look like GI, what's the GI?
It was every time Labour got the ball, I was like, he's just going to onto the floor. Herbie's there. Fuck, it's too hard. This game was very interesting. I think my tipping was fucking fatalized by this game because I thought Cowboys would go out there and have a go. And I want to say that I don't want anyone out there to get tricked or get misled by what happened in that last 20 minutes. Cowboys were absolutely pitiful. And the amount of calls and the amount of good ball that these motherfuckers got in that first 60 minutes, particularly the first 30, where they've now demonstrated that they can no longer even score, was the only reason that this didn't finish even bigger than the last time these guys played. Truly, whenever Dolphins had the ball and they didn't drop it, or Cowboys didn't get a 70 tackle set, or 6 again until one of their dog wank outside backs drops the ball. Cowboys were literally conceding every time, not on their 10, from the Dolphins' 10. It was just
This was worse than the time they got hammered.
Yeah.
The way to defend it.
Because this time they had players.
Last time they didn't have their origin players.
And this was just... It really shows to me that Cowboys, I think you said this off air, which I probably didn't consider enough, in sending out total points over 36... should have been 66, apparently.
Cowboys.
And Cowboys plus 14.5, which actually was 5 minutes away from covering. But in my opinion, that didn't deserve to cover. They genuinely should have lost 54-0 in my mind. And it seems like they put all their eggs in the Bulldogs basket 5 days after Origin. And by the time they got to this game, they just have completely quit on the air. So even though they threw the footy around, scored some garbage, I think that raises more alarm signs of Dolphins. What the fuck are you guys doing to even allow that? And if a few more things broke the Cowboys' way, they actually could have tied the game, which is news like,
to me.
if you are on Dolphins -4 and watching this garbage, would be in the fetal position. But the right team won, the right team covered. Our bet goes down, which is annoying, but in hindsight, Dolphins only laying 4.5 to these losers. That was too easy, and I should have seen that coming, and I'll wear that one.
It's not like... I think a lot of people thought this is their season, so they're going to have to try. And it was fine, but the blind was going the other way. Like, it was like, okay, you would expect Cowboys to stay at 4, but it was 6 by game day. And it was the point that these cunts just... I'm going to say this about few teams this week because, like, they're going to give up. Cowboys are lucky Titans have 4 wins.
Yeah.
Because
they'd be in jeopardy.
They would be in jeopardy. And so would the other team on Friday. Because these two are just beyond. You got to, at this point, you have to take a caveat with these two teams going forward that they've given up. And they're not teams that would, try for morale. They're going to quit.
Oh, yeah.
They're quitters.
And Cowboys probably the number one perpetrators of that. So I'm concerned for what's coming. Because the other side, they're still trying. That's the scary thing. But Cowboys, they've given up. And with that backline, I mean, they're genuinely out there playing 13 on 10. This have me, of all people, coming on and be like, where's Vilea? Yeah. That's how bad they are. Burns, atrocious player. Labour, I know he's coming off an ACL tear, but he was god-awful. Who's the winger outside Burns? Some other moron. He was awful.
No, because Talangi went off injured. He played.
Yeah. Talangi is injured now as well. So, I mean, it's just terrible.
And I guess
on the Dolphins side, they stay in the... Their differential is actually so healthy that they keep adding 50 to it every round because all these guys do is go out there and score 60. I just don't see that style translating to finals footy. And if they are to somehow jag a spot in there, they're going to either go to Penrith, go to Brisbane, and they're going to die in either of those venues. So while they have been a nice story and seeing them play finals footy for the first time would be good, I'd be happy to see them in there. The other candidates of the teams that could smuggle into the 8 instead of them, I think are more experienced, more well-equipped, and just better sized than the Dolphins. And the 50-0 scoreboards are a little bit misleading to me, even though they are good with the ball, but without it, I mean, fuck me.
Their defense wasn't great. And it's not like a lot of teams around that area's defense is great. And Dolphins do have the chance to prove themselves. They have Roosters in their schedule, and they have Manly in their schedule, which is where they're competing against. But look, if they split them, maybe, because of one team's draw is particularly awful, Manly. Roosters, I think they got Melbourne twice still. So
no, the Roosters, fuck me.
I think they're done after the next game.
You can't list the Tigers and then make wake up.
And Cronulla have probably the easiest draw out of all of them, and they're going to just walk through to the finals, in my opinion. And we'll get to them in a second. But Dolphins are in that area. They have deserved to be in that area, and truly... If it weren't for their injury toll, which is extensive, they would definitely be higher up, and we would be probably saying that they would make the 8. You're taking this forward pack without Daniel Saifidi, Gilbert, and Plath, and Flegler, who was supposed to start the start of the year. You put those 4 in this team with the backline to where they're playing, you would be like, all right, these guys are in the 8.
They'd be scary sides.
And that's what, I mean, going all the way back to our season preview, which I don't know if a lot of you guys had watched, we had Dolphins as to make the 8 one of our best bets. And they might finish 10th or 11th this year, not expecting them to make the 8. But they honestly had a crack, and they've had a great year, and that Wayne effect kind of went away after the first 4 rounds. They've looked, for a team starting 0-4, they've looked fantastic from that point.
I agree with you. They really woke up, and that 0-4 start probably losing the Tigers and Souths and Knights. No, all you conceded was probably 1 or 2 of those wins, and you'd be a shoo-in. But we'll see what happens. Like you said, they are playing their competition going forward, and that's a good thing working for them. Cowboys, you guys suck. I just want you guys to know that.
Suck ass.
Moving on to teams that suck. The Sydney Roosters.
Poor Roosters.
Shout out to Barnsey. Go to Cronulla and get smacked up by our Cronulla Sharks. Our biggest unit stake of the round, Sharks -1.5. Was that it? No, that wasn't enough because the market continues shifting in the Roosters' favour to a pick'em, which just had me putting more and more down on the Sharks. closer to kickoff. I could not believe my eyes. Is this what the world's come to, that
people scared of
can't
Roosters?
genuinely think that Roosters are that good that they should go and pick them to a Shark side at home? Or do they think Sharks are that bad? I'm not 100% sure.
Well, look, Hynes may have not played 10 out of 10. He was okay, but like I said, they just need another player to play 10 out of 10. And Trindle was amazing in this game.
Mate, there was one play even better than Trindle.
Oh, really?
Blake Brayley was
Brayley was... I mean, it's just the Roosters' laziness at the end of the day.
How lazy are you guys?
The through the middle, it's just lazy.
The Hynes try was like, okay, we know Roosters going to go out there and drop the ball, give away penalties, compound errors by their own stupidity. But for them to just be so goddamn lazy in the middle of the park was the alarming thing of me that suggests to me that they don't actually give a fuck about playing finals footy.
No, I agree with
Townsend.
that. But I feel like it's been happening across a lot of games. Is like teams are kind of getting very scared of giving a 6 again in those scenarios because of the compound effect. It's something we've touched upon many times through the podcast. So I'm not going to go into it too much. But the fact you can get 1-6 again, and then once you get to the 10-meter line, it's almost like immediate. You're going to give away another one. It's kind of what teams are thinking. Like in the old world, I mean, someone, Cameron Smith-esque, right? He sees Brayley absolutely torching him through the middle of the park and he's called offside. He's just going to tackle him and just give the penalty. Who cares, right? But this world, it's like, okay, anything to not give a penalty, even if it's conceding 4 points. And like, that's what's happening. There's no reason for Brayley just to walk through. One of you idiots just tackle him. I mean, you're going to give 6 again anyway. You're getting torched and adding 6 points to that. I mean, you guys came back in this game. If they didn't have that 6 points earlier, Roosters could have won this game. But they're dumb, so they probably wouldn't have. But I actually there's a lot of things I know you want to say. First of all, let's start with poor Roosters. What a shame.
Roosters, yeah.
Billy Smith got injured. And they couldn't win.
Look, I'm just going to take the reins for a little bit because this game was
you pissed the
very vindicating. Very vindicating for you and I, because I think we're the type of cunts that we would come out and be like, Roosters are fucking garbage. Sharks will actually hammer them. And I know that you hit upset alert on the Manly game, and that is worth celebrating. But to me, this was the game that we were actually the most right on of any of them of this round. Sharks never trailed at any point in the game that they were pick'em, led by margin at pretty much the wire to wire at all points of the game at a pick'em. And the Blake Brayley try in isolation, the line break into the Hynes try in isolation is like, oh, they were like, didn't want to allow the 6 again or whatever, which is valid from you. But it really showcases that we were so right in the way we approached this game of, okay, at their very best, if Roosters play their best game and Sharks play their best game, you could come to me and be like, Roosters are going to go out there and win. And I will entertain that, right? Because when the shit sticks for these morons, they actually are a good side. But you're betting at a pick'em in the opposition's fucking venue that Roosters are going to nail a 10 out of 10. Where I know maybe Sharks won't give me the 10 out of 10, but they are like at least willing to compete and play the right way. And for Roosters to just have genuinely more talented forwards, especially once Nakora goes down for getting kicked in the fucking head at HIA, for them to have the more talented forwards and just be resigned to just allowing Cronulla to dominate the middle of the park for like the first 40 minutes was just like, well, this is why these morons aren't in the 8.
Yeah. They're on demand.
And even, like, look at how they ended up scoring, right? That try was probably a top 5 try of the year where they fucking go down the left side. Billy Smith, before he gets injured, does the ball to Tupou, and then they go back and James scores before halftime, and you're like, holy fuck. Like, this is why I'm scared to bet against him. Out of nowhere, one kick to Tupou, and then this, and they have 12 points. And as awful as they've been, now they're fucking in the contest. But the second half was just despicable from these guys.
Yeah, awful. I mean, if you're done, I've got my own thing to say about Roosters.
Sharks at this point, they are the better side. They are the more reliable side, better coached, believe it or not, because Trent Robinson has the reputation of some genius mastermind, but year after year, his players do the same garbage and he never holds them accountable. So the Sharks, I was very happy that they won for us because this game would have really pissed me off if Roosters went out there and win, knowing what we know about them.
Yeah, and I think this 3 win in a row came well timed for Sharks. They have a really easy draw for the next 3 weeks as well. They play South next week, which are not even a club at this point. Maybe the resemblance of South as the logo, but that's
the shadow of South.
The shadow of South. I've got a lot to say about Roosters simply because of how many people sit on this team. It's incredible. One team I actually want to call another podcast out because they've reached out to us maybe about a year ago for my antics on Roosters. But all I see on these cunts' page is how much they love Roosters. The Ruck Infringement Podcast, I want to say the most important thing, fuck you cunts. That's the nicest way of saying it. What happened, Roosters? You cunts couldn't win again. Roosters, why I hate them, they're the epitome of what an NRL team should be. If you're an NRL player, young, upcoming, you want to make the league, you want to play with effort. Just like Dogs, just like Penrith. Penrith has been successful because they have effort. They're not the most talented team, but they're there for each other no matter what. You cunts are the polar opposite, and then nothing changes. Every single year, all we hear is how talented Roosters are. And a lot of people this year, including ourselves, said they won't make the 8, they don't have the talent. But all of a sudden, they get Mark. All of a sudden, they get an Origin-level centre who played 3 Origin matches in Robert Toya. And they have talent again. And they just pull off some garbage. And like you said, when Roosters score that try, they score some brilliant try that everyone's going to see 1,000 times. And like you said, probably top 5 try of the year. But at the end of the day, on the other end, they have no effort. I mean, the Kennedy try, we haven't even established that. The first try they gave up.
Was it held?
They look at Braden.
I feel like that might have been held. I don't
like the late offloads because it's very subjective on the ref.
I hate it.
And I don't like it at all. But whatever. It's the fact they switch off and they go, and it's Kennedy. It's not like, oh yeah, Adam crashed over and you guys couldn't stop. It's Kennedy. Come on, boys. But the Brayley try Nicho try just capped it off. I mean, the middle of the park, abysmal. I feel sorry for James, to be honest.
Same.
Like, he isn't the player that Roosters deserve to have.
Yeah, I agree with you.
He is an effort player.
Yep.
And he gives it his all no matter what. While he watches these numbskulls through the middle of the park, these Origin level forwards, Collins, Leniu, Crichton, you have been probably one of the worst players from last year being Wally Lewis medalist to the fucking garbage you're putting up this season. Awful. I mean, it's just atrocious. Roosters, you deserve to lose by more, in my opinion. It's just Sharks being idiots. And in saying that, Sharks had lost both their centers. Iro wasn't there. Ramian wasn't there. Nakora went down after 20 minutes. I can't imagine if everyone played.
Yeah.
Because you guys just wouldn't have stand a chance. So anyone wants to call me out for Roosters, I've predicted this team from day one. If you give me the Roosters, I know when they're going to show up and I know when they're going to give up. And that's the reason why the last 3 weeks have just been great on this team.
Yeah, for sure.
And it all started from their demise against Tigers. Unlucky, but it is poor Roosters. Poor Roosters.
Poor Roosters that they had to run out Chad Townsend. He was so bad, bro. But did they really have to run him out?
No.
I mean, Sandon Smith, as far as I'm aware, was available to play. And, okay, you're going to say, nah, bro, he's on the outer. We didn't want to pick him because we don't want him at the club. Connor Watson, I've heard, is the most versatile guard of all time.
Yeah, he can play anywhere.
Yet you were more reluctant to just shift him to 5'8" and play some other moron at lock. And you brought Townsend in, and he was as awful as me, you, and Bob sitting on his couch knew he was going to be.
Bro, but Savala was out. Poor Roosters.
Yeah, poor Roosters.
Yeah, poor Roosters.
On the other side of things, Sharks, you are awake, which is good. I'm glad that you finally woke up and started attending this competition known as the National Rugby League and you have put yourself in a position where, I mean, to play Souths next week, I wouldn't even fly there. I would just request to Peter Volandis, hey, do we really need to rock up and play these cunts, or can we just get 2 points? We can? Okay.
It's in Perth?
Man, you can be on Jupiter. It doesn't matter. The Ray Souths are playing. But I still have my question marks about how much I trust you morons. Again, going to Penrith, going to Brisbane, wherever the fuck you're going in week 1. But I know that there's party cunts that you're going to go and win somehow. So
What's frustrating for us is that we can see this in them. They shouldn't be in this position that they have to go to Penrith or Brisbane in an elimination final.
I agree with you.
And realistically, they should be up there with them chasing the Wars down, which is impossible task. But they should be up there with them. They've just lost to their own stupidity.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of like, part of me is pissed at them. I'm happy they've woken up, and I'm happy another team's woken up because it does make the league much more interesting when these two teams are actually on. But you guys just fuck yourselves over. Like, especially this other fucking Eagles, I tell you. If you cunts just won the dumb games, you would be up there, you fucking morons. But anyway, you have to do it the hard way. And next week, I don't think it's ever done in upset alert history. It might be a double up because I know. Do you know who Manly's playing?
No.
One of my favorite, maybe my favorite fixture of all time.
Your favorite fixture? Let me think about that throughout the pod.
Yeah, go for it, man.
Manly, they're underdogs again, aren't they?
Of course they are.
So they're playing some fucking absolute imbeciles, aren't they?
Well, not imbeciles. They're very good. They've just built a new statue.
Oh, God. Come on! Anyway, we're going to move on for the 2-minute review of South and Penrith. Shout out to Dylan Edwards, who had a 10 out of 10 performance, 300 metres run, 2 tries, pretty much destroyed South single-handedly. Penrith, even though they didn't have Cleary and Yeo, and Souths gave them all Outs gave them all that they could offer and dish up. Penrith had the answers, and Souths. It's quickly become 6 losses on the trot for you can't stand.
There's effort, though. They try.
Can I fault them for being that god-awful?
But
I can't fault one of their players. And
who? Wyden
has been an absolutely despicable sign.
Yeah,
for
I
Souths.
agree. Yeah, ever
Centre, fullback, back row, 5'8", wherever he's played, anytime he's run out in the red and green, he's been just awful. And I never thought I would say this in the history of the Back Yourself podcast. They're actually better with Jaden Sullivan at 5'8". At least they can score.
All right, that's a first.
I mean, the shape on the left side where with Poacher Boy, who actually scored in the 78th minute, conveniently off one of Wyden's dog shit kicks. I'm convinced they could have played Penrith another 5 hours. They wouldn't have scored. That shape was just awful. Wyden has been really bad.
Wyden.
I don't fault Souths for grabbing him because on paper it made a lot of sense. He plays centre, Latrell's at fucking fullback, Johnson's there, Cody Walker's there, and I know that there's been injuries, but for someone like me who was defending Wyden saying he deserved the Clive Churchill and the fucking Dally M in 2019, to see how far he's fallen as a 5'8" centre, whatever you want to call him, just it actually hurts me to watch, and I'm not sure Souths are backable for the rest of the season with how they're playing. Because they're trying.
They're trying.
That's the scary part is that they're trying.
I can't wait till they give up.
What are we going to see when they give up? I mean, think about who they ran out there, and they're losing more players. Host, Aitken, 2 of the worst back rowers I've ever seen. Just awful.
I mean, Aitken ended up playing centre because I think I don't know what happened.
Kalamatangi went down, so
that's a loss.
A sin dismersus for him means his season's done.
That's 6 points off.
I can't even imagine, it's going to go back into Kepi and Co.
Yeah, Kepi. He needs Kepi. I think Dodd might play.
Dodd's so awful.
He was all right. He came on, and at least they had some hope.
The game was already done by then, but yeah, I'm sorry, Souths. You're just not good. Penrith, what's that? 6 wins in a row.
Just fuck off.
There's just signs of the same garbage that you cunts won 4 premierships of. It's getting annoying.
It's covered.
I feel like the ship had sailed on you cunts at some point when you were. I came back from a run. These motherfuckers were last, and now they're about to surpass Warriors if they were to ever hypothetically lose a match.
No. But what's frustrating is we're gonna go for Wires in one game, and it's when they play Penrith, and they're gonna lose. Yeah. And that's the only issue with the draws so far. I kind of want Melbourne to slip to 4th at this point. So they can play Raiders. So at least Raiders come down and, play Penrith and knock them out. Because if they end up playing Warriors or Dogs are the two I'm scared of. I can't be bothered. But I did say this, and I said this way early in the year. I'm talking too much about I can't wait for Manly. Because I did say this way at the start of the podcast, right? A couple weeks in. I have a feeling we're going to get Manly Dogs again in the finals. And it could actually happen now.
I don't think so.
Yeah. Manly do the ambush of the century and play Dogs in week 2.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's going to have to be an ambush.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty, what's there to say? Penrith, they're back to what
Same
they do
garbage.
so well. It's contagious with them that when they start defending well, the ball just starts bouncing in their favour. They break tackles. It's like they have fucking oil on them, and Edwards becomes an untackleable force.
100%.
Granted, it was Souths, but he played awesome and he deserves credit for that.
Granted, it was Souths.
The outside backs, while they don't have the names, they also played really good, and Souths, you guys suck.
You know what? I am happy about it. I'm sorry, Taylor May, but I'm happy you got a charge in a way, because if you were at Penrith, I would have had to strangle someone.
Yeah, that'd be
the
really
way
annoying.
He played today.
Yeah,
woo!
it was like a man possessed, but they would say that McLean is probably better than him, so good luck to Penrith. We move on. I feel like they haven't played anyone good for a while, since the Dogs game either, which helps them, but anyway, they're big Dogs, so fair enough. I would love for them to have 10 buys, so I don't have to
Do they
watch
have
them
a
again.
bye? I don't know.
Moving on to 3 p.m, where shout out to Seabass and Joel Coddington and Charles Caroon, who was scared of Para. Laying 13 was apparently too tall a task. But
Who?
I had faith in the mighty Canberra Raiders
I
to
didn't.
go out there and destroy Eels. And I'm going to hit you guys.
They shouldn't have.
I'm going to hit my partner over here with a take that he's going to absolutely hate. So strap yourself in, Chrissy, and don't shake your head at me because this is true.
Raiders are good.
There is a certain team that we have given the adulation for on this podcast.
Para.
And
You're
there's
gonna scream.
a weekly segment. Shout out to JB and all the Melbourne fans out there. And we time it. We set a stopwatch and we think to ourselves, how long did this team go out and try this week?
Raiders.
And
Okay.
truly, Raiders have turned into that team. They tried for 5 minutes at the start of the game and 8 minutes at the end of the game. And by the end of it, they won by 26.
You got a point. They did play like they didn't try. But see, I hate saying they keep getting hammered. That's the problem.
That's the problem.
But they're actually all right. That's the I watched them and I'm like, they're actually okay.
Yep.
And it's just,
Joash Papali, this cunt's awful,
I mean,
but he shouldn't be there in the first place, so that's fine. But everything else, like Paro, fine. They really hung in there. They did well. At 12-0, they could have...
Given up.
If this was Souths or something, I'm scared for what the scoreboard would have been. Cowboys, Souths, Knights, Tigers, Titans, Dragons. We'll get to Dragons. But Para actually made it... They led at half-time, for God's sake. Like, I was thinking, I was doing the math of like, even if we score 4 converted tries, we'll probably concede 1 or 2. They can kick the Lomax. We're fucked. Raiders kind of switched off, and Para did score some weird kind of tries. The way they were scoring, they weren't really breaking Canberra down through the middle, and there was off Canberra drop balls, like off kicks,
not trying.
where I was like, they've really switched off, and it kind of seems like too tall of a task to lay 13 with. But
takes 2 seconds.
This is what happens when you take a side as potent and as offensively talented as the Raiders, that you blink and there's 4 converted tries in 10 minutes. Think about that last 10 minutes. These cunts were up 6. We're on minus 13.5, right? 9 minutes to go. Fogarty puts his fingers up, takes the 2. And I'm like, well, if he kicks it and we score again, we actually will cover. He misses.
Yeah, I know. That was insane.
He missed.
But they score.
They scored, but they didn't score because Matt Timoko's in the end zone having a wank. And they drop it. And I'm like, well, fuck's sake. Like, all right,
insane.
just give Para the spread and whatever. And then literally in 4 minutes, these cunts scored like 20 points. Owen Paddy tried.
I mean, I don't know how many. It's not going to take long because Harry Grant, on Paddy,
This cunt's
almost is already in the Queensland team. He's insane.
And for that reason, this Canberra side, I'm anointing them. They're fucking gone. They didn't even look at Para for more than 10 minutes and destroyed them in the end.
If it's not Melbourne, whoever comes forth is going to die week 1 of the finals.
Oh, yeah.
They're dead.
Fuck going there. Yeah. And now they're boasting a home record of 8-1 this season. I can't actually think of who the fuck went there and won, but...
Dogs. In the ambush game when they were down 22.
So their only home losses when they went down 22-0. Like, their resume is impeccable, essentially, and they have won big games. They raped Brisbane. They raped Melbourne. The Dogs one's probably the only black mark on their resume so far, but this Canberra side's like... They've been asleep for a while, and they even slept in this game. And we're saying Para's actually all right, and they tried, and they did, and they played good. Raiders maybe got 1 or 2 lucky breaks throughout the game, but at the end of the day, you look up at the scoreboard, you see 40-16, and the second half was 28-0.
It gets really hard for them next week. They play Knights at home.
God.
They're draws.
Are they even going to go there?
Why did Knights fly? After today, I don't even know how they're going to play again.
Yeah,
that's
on the Para side. Yeah, just keep doing what you're doing, boys. I think
Moses comes back next week.
Next year is a better account for you guys, but you should go to Brisbane and die realistically. But we'll see what happens. At least you're in the contest, and we are getting to that part of the year where 10 minutes can be very costly for an underdog because when it gets too hard, it just gets too hard.
Agreed, but the thing with them is they've been kind of in the mode that we're not going to achieve anything from a long time away. Other teams like South and Cowboys that had hope.
Who keep trying.
Yeah, that had hope. And I'd rather have a team that's already all right, we're fucked from round 10. We're good. From this point, it's we know where we are and we know next year's the goal. And look, next year, some of these development players have developed really well. Riley Smith is fantastic. Alangi, Who else is going to get Rookie of the Year? He's been incredible. What a signing. I know he ain't no Clint Gutherson. No, he ain't no Clint Gutherson, but he's been fantastic.
He's really developed well.
And the back line is Lomax is doing his job. And Addo Carr, like, to be honest, he was possessed in this game. And a lot he has been much better than what he was at Dogs, even before the whole thing.
They have missed Penasini. I mean, Sean Russell
the
is
centers
awful
are
player.
awful.
Moving on.
Simons came back to Raiders. He ran back. Yeah.
Moving on to
all right. This is the whole podcast.
The minute silence that we should sit here and owe the Zarafos brothers, who have requested a very special shout out, claiming from the stands of Cogra that they were robbed, and the refs have fucked over the Dragons, which we will get to shortly. But obviously, for those of you that are familiar with the podcast, this is the shout outs that are due.
Oh God, this is 4 hours.
So shout out to Chris Creas. Shout out to you, Matthew. I'm very proud of your team. What a win it was.
No.
The confetti dropped at full time. And Galvin was anointed the chosen one that saved our franchise from the wrath of dragons in that second half, where we were all shaking. Fuck, they're coming for us, Chris. But here comes Galvin to save them. Shout out to Karaz for showing Laurie Daly who the fuck the New South Wales winger should be with that first try. How did he contort gravity to put the ball down? Shout out to that Dogs winger that scored. That literally dropped it 20 seconds into the game. I was like, fuck me, it's one of those nights, isn't it, folks? Shout out to Salmon, who is going to cost Ciraldo a massive fucking roasting from me on this podcast. Wake up, cunt. This is not under 11s where you pick the players you like, you dickhead. Unlucky Tupanua, you're out for another 8 months as well.
What did he do?
He did his hamstring.
Oh,
It was either he will do his hamstring or he will hit someone.
I thought he got banned again.
Shout out to Critter. Fuck, did you see him walk through them, bruh? Critter G, the best centre ever.
Continue your shout outs.
And
Sexton?
shout out to Sexton, who made sure the team was extremely... Oh, fuck, I forgot. I got to do a 5-minute take on Burden. This guy's awful player. But with that, I hand over to you, Christopher.
No.
The one that claimed Lachlan Galvin at birth. What did you make of?
No, there's more shout out. Shout out Max King for never wearing a New South Wales jersey again.
The only blue you were wearing.
Shout out Kick Out. I didn't even know what you did. Shout out Preston, the best try scorer ever. Shout out Kurtman, the greatest Maroon ever. Ciraldo.
Bailey Hayward, the next Cameron Smith.
Are we shouting out Ciraldo?
I'm going to shout at him.
Shout out Gus for the signing of the year because...
The man with the plan. The man that creates dynasties wherever he goes. The man that didn't know Galvin, but
he might have done not great throughout the whole game. Look, but tell me one person that can make this argument. You think Sexton would have thrown that pass? Do you think if Sexton would even have the balls to throw that pass? Do you think Burden would have the balls to throw that pass? Fuck no! Fuck no! With 1 minute left, this kid's like, you know what? Fuck it. They're all jamming in. I'm just going to peg it at him. If this cunt drops it, if this cunt does what he usually was doing, whatever. All right? I'm Lucky Galvin. I do what I want. And now he's been knighted by the Bulldogs. And that's it. This is what you need. I think people now honestly realize after this Dragons game that fuck these cunts can't score. It's honestly like that part when they were down 18-16 was like, if it wasn't for Galvin, there was blood coming out of my eyes from watching the TV. It was awful offensively.
You know what? This is where I want to nuke Ciraldo, and I'll get to him, but it wasn't like this.
I know.
The first 12 weeks, it wasn't like this. They didn't struggle to this extent to score. But obviously, we have 80 minutes of fucking action to break down in this one. Dragons, God, you guys tried. You guys tried.
That was highway robbery.
We'll get to the highway robbery. First half, decent contest. Dogs got a couple calls, ended up going down there. Dragons, you really fucked yourself over with the Crichton try. I mean, come on, boys. Both of you were there and just allow them to walk through. That was probably where you let yourselves down. Other than that, it would have been, 10-8, and I feel like that would have been a good reflection. You did the try-saver on kick-out, which I don't know how the fuck Damien Cook stopped him. Shout out to him. Sloan and Gutho combined on the right-hand side to score early in the half as well, which was good setup play from the Dragons.
These guys are Penrith again. They have no speed.
What concerns me, Chris, I can watch Dogs go out there and not score, and that wouldn't even alarm me because that's not what they're built to win games on. Why did you can't lose the middle of the park to Dragons?
I don't know. To Gula and fucking.
Why were they getting destroyed by Gula and co?
I don't know.
And that's the part where I'm like, okay, your strength hasn't really seemed like your strength in a little while. Where I'm like, why are you kind of struggling to make meters? It's Dragons.
And they have no speed, which is Penrith-esque. Like when Sloan got through, like those, you might as well not catch.
Yeah.
There's no chance.
That's shut the game.
And yeah, there's one particular team that has all the speed, and it seems to fuck you cunts over at times when they break you down. But to your point, the whole thing is they get the momentum through the middle to get it to the edges. The momentum through the middle shouldn't happen with this Dogs forward pack, but it seems to happen, and that's why Dragons were in the game. They got the momentum. Gutho went right. Awful tackle from Burton. I think it was Burton that tried to tackle Gutho and literally just let him walk through. And obviously, look, Sloan that's all he's there for, really. He doesn't do anything else. So if he's going to get one-on-one, he's going to score every time. He's too fast. So he literally outruns Weeks, which everyone thinks he's the fastest player. We've seen him outrun him.
Okay.
Here we go.
In my mind, Connor Tracy is a Dylan Edwards-esque player, Walmart version. I'm okay with him being there.
It's Burton.
I don't get this obsession with Salmon starting at lock. I've really of all these players that you have on this team, Galvin, even Burton. All right, I'll give you the fact that Burton's fucking some god.
He's not.
Marnie at hooker. You have the options of Kurt Mann, who's proven that he can be a ball player, former Knights 5'8". You have Bailey Hayward, who's been claimed by God of the god of Bulldogs. Why the fuck is Jamin Salmon first receiver every single time you can't play the ball? You go left, Salmon's there. You go right, Salmon's there. And he gets to dictate what happens on the field. Wake up! Why the fuck is Kurt Mann not starting? And then if you like Bailey Hayward so much, bring him off the bench.
No, look.
It's pissing me off.
It's actually poor. And because he's on either side, it's a coaching thing. It's poor from Serraldo. It should be Burton, Galvin. First, one of them being first receiver and the other one being second receiver. Yeah. It's fine.
Look, you don't need Salmon to go and draw defenders in to create space.
He's not what's drawing.
You have Critter on one side, you have Kickout on the other. Those are your focal points of, we have to worry about...
Five cunts going to come
The defense has to worry about these cunts every single time. But instead, you're allowing the fucking opposition to rush up so Salmon can get it and fuck that. Marnie has a 20-meter...
He has a good pass on him as well. Yeah.
His service is impeccable. Just give it to Burton. He can run the ball a couple of times. He can give it to Kickout. They can go out the back that way. If you want to give it to Critter and just you can't don't create space for him anyway. So just give him the ball and he can just do what he did in the first half. If anything, you're actually setting him up to get fucking kicked out and get thrown out.
Because the defense shifts so easily.
Yeah.
Look, that's just. I mean, maybe a lot of people. That's just better coaching. Flanagan has seen this and he's going, all right, if Salmon's out there, they're just going to give him the ball. They're going to shift it every time.
And yes, that's good coaching from Flano, and we can talk about Dragons, but why have Dogs fucking allowed this to be what they're dictating in attack? Salmon. Who gives a fuck? Get him out of there. He shouldn't be in the 17.
Well, Salmon also has a statue. Him and Sexton together. They're standing holding hands.
Gus has chosen one. Now, problem number 2 in the Dogs attack. Matt Burton, fuck me. Structure-wise, I don't think we're talking premiership winning 5'8", in my opinion.
Why does my boy Galvin always get some dick next to him?
This guy's a little wide, but just taller with a bigger boot.
It's incredible.
I do like that Burton is more of a running threat, but if you're going to play him as a running 5'8", play him as a running 5'8". When he decides to start ball playing and shit, the sequencing and the sync is just not there for the Bulldogs, and that's why they really should have scored probably 30 against Dragons if they were dishing out what the fuck they were at the start of the season. But these weird team selections and the mismatch of chemistries has got them in a bad way. Second half came out flat. Dragons got 4 penalties in a row. You guys were making errors as if I thought fucking Roosters came out instead of Bulldogs. It was really pissing me off. And to Dragons' credit, when Finau scored in the corner and Flanagan kicked it, I guarantee, knowing you, even though we didn't watch the game, there was part of you that's it's 18-6, Dogs might not score again.
No, I was this upset came one game early. Because, the way Dragons came back and the way they were playing was they were really up for this. In a world that Galvin doesn't exist and he wasn't a Bulldog and he was a Tiger and Sexton was there, Dragons win this game. And 99% of the time, when Dragons are up for a game like this, they win.
Yeah.
And they were up for this. Dogs this was you know what's incredible? This should have been how round 1 was.
Yeah,
this is what they touted them to be. And it came a bit later, but Dogs have gone up like this and Dragons are down here, down way below everyone what they thought, but yet this game was just even better than round 1. It was incredible. Look, let's get to the last four. I think the last four. There's, the Dragons. I forget his name. The Dragons influencer.
Yeah.
He wasn't upset about the call. He didn't want to say anything about the refs because I feel like he hasn't been, what's it called? He's been cancelled, unlike us, which we're getting there, the way we're going.
A few more reports were finished.
Look, one, I get, why were they going short off the dropouts? Anyway, and also Warriors. Oh my god, I got so much to say. I cannot believe Tanner Boyd didn't go short off the field goal. Anyway, it doesn't matter because they win. The why they're going short for no reason, kick it as far as you can, understandable. That penalty, the fact the one that he was in the ruck.
I think that was fair.
No, it wasn't, because he's moving the ball forward. Like, I understand when they go through the ruck. But this guy hasn't placed the ball down. So if you're moving forward and then you want to place the ball down and you knock into a Dragon or an opposition player, I think it's your fault.
I have a very simple question for you. When the Bulldogs player, Kiraz, go and put the ball down, did Luciano move his leg forward into the ruck? Yes or no?
No.
He did.
But Kiraz was moving forward. That's my issue. It's not that he stopped still.
Kiraz is allowed to move forward. Luciano can't put his leg forward. If Luciano's leg's already there and then Kiraz knocks it on,
then
that's not going through the ruck. He's dropped it, right? But Leilua isn't there originally, and then as soon as this cunt goes to put the ball down, I don't think he did it on purpose, but
it's Luciano.
I feel like that. If what Dragons fans are saying is that we got robbed because of that, come on, boys. That is a penalty. I'm sorry, Zarafos.
I'm 50-50. I don't know. The running through the ruck is incredible, but the other thing, I should have said this right at the start.
I actually felt like they got dudded more when these cunts put the bomb across the field and they called 6 again. I'm still yet to think that one of the Dragons...
No one touched it.
Yeah,
no one touched it.
And this guy just did this and they scored off the...
What's Jared Sutton?
No, some other fucking...
It was Todd Smith, I think.
Yeah.
Jared Sutton saved himself at Penrith because they have to cover. Yeah. And then the Galvin try, a lot of people saying what Sloan did. Look, they were short. So I think he had to make a decision, and... one-on-one, this winger would have probably scored on Sloan anyway because Sloan's a bitch. So I feel like he just made the decision. And honestly,
it took a cracking ball
if it wasn't Galvin, not many players would have the balls to throw that pass in the last minute of the game. So shout out to him. I mean, this is why he's my boy and why I think Dogs are going to go to the grand final. Did I think this performance put them in the grand final? Oh, fuck no. They were awful in this game. But... like Raiders are doing, and not this week, but Raiders in the past when they kept winning by 4, they get the win, right? And they're in that hunt, and unfortunately now they're second, which is perfect for them because fucking the Eagles saved them, but it might have not saved them too much because of next week. But cracking ball from Galvin, and whatever they need to sort out with Burden, whatever they need to sort out defensively, like the edges, all right, you guys are going to rush in, but you can't just fucking rush in every time because Dragons actually, like, that ball, the one in the Sloan try in the first half was just stupid. Dogs should never concede that. But to your point, that was more they're losing the forwards for no reason. And they may have led that first half, but the Dragons forwards actually gave them a crack. Then they got some calls in the second, and that's why they came back. And Flano, what a cracking kick from the sideline. It really should have won them the game.
Yeah, I agree.
But
it was sad to see Dragons lose that way. Like,
I feel like that was just like the crack in their season, and
that was the theme for pretty much a lot of teams. Dragons, Knights, Titans.
How do you come
this
back
far away? But the funniest one actually ended up winning, which is the next game. But shout out to Dragons. Like, you can't really tried.
Yeah,
you would have seen them celebrating like they won the comp, rightfully so, at full time. I want to say, Dogs have kind of alarmed me in this way as well, which is a different kind of spin on things. You guys play like Penrith, right? But when you're down in these games, I don't see them try and approach getting back in the game like Penrith.
No.
They were actually just like, with 20 to go, like, fuck it, we could start throwing the footy around. And they're actually lucky Dragons are too shit to have scored again. Yeah. Because if Dragons scored again and went up 8, they would have been fucking finished.
Yeah.
Some of that is their credit for their own goal line D, and after Finau went off after snapping his shoulder. Yeah. I have actually done my shoulder the exact same way. Shout out to you. I hope you get well soon, young man. That was a very good try. But if Dragons were actually a team of like if Val's there and Tui Pelota's there. Maybe they score again and Dogs are fucking finished. With the amount of good ball they
Well,
gave
the other
them.
thing I want to say in the last 20 minutes, which is one of your strike weapons, Critter, you actually got cooked by fucking Sua. He could not get past Sua. I mean, he got the ball early a lot of those times in the last 10 minutes, and you couldn't get past him. And that's Sua. It was the makeshift center. Sua fucking had him in his pocket for that last 20 minutes. So they had to go the other way. And you're lucky you can't have Galvin, bro, because Sexton would have never thrown that pass. I don't care who wants to come at me. He would have never thrown it.
Do you agree that Burton's been awful?
Oh, yeah. Burton, you don't even put torpedoes up at it. What's the point of you?
Yeah, legit, yeah.
Go to center.
It's bad,
fucking
bro.
pissing me off.
Anyway, both our eyes fixated on Bulldogs for next week. You can't have a... It's not Dragons coming to town next week, so let's see what happens
game
there.
that's going to be.
We move on. I'll introduce the game and I'll hand over to my brother from another mother. Honestly, Chris, put it here, mate. Fireworks going off in the podcast.
The only
for your
upset of the round.
Literally the only one that won, which I think should give you brownie points. The Manly Seagulls at $4 odds. When everyone thought their season was done, including myself, go to Melbourne and win outright. 18-16 was the full-time score in, I'm not going to say controversial circumstances, because I don't think anyone would deny that Manly were the better side and they deserve to win. So, Christopher, would you like to do your victory lap, or are you just saying that, you know what, these things, if you're paying enough attention, you know they're coming?
Well, in a way, it's because I know Manly intrinsically. And what's incredible is I've predicted them so well because I've just followed other teams. And Manly at this point, I didn't think the middle of the season would be this awful, and it usually isn't for Manly. But as shit as they are during the middle of the season, their end of seasons are always good. And it's kind of South-esque, Roosters-esque, that towards the end of the season, they start playing better footy because they're reaching the finals. And it happened last year from probably a better position than what they were. Losing to Titans and losing to Knights was definitely not part of my plan. But Manly literally turned around their season in one game. And what's incredible is where they're rated now. Now, everyone this week, any podcast you watch, any NRL podcast that you watch outside of Back Yourself, make sure you watch all of this podcast because Knights is coming up. It's going to be great. And Tigers. But my point is now, and I want you to tag them in the comments because I'm the only motherfucker that said these cunts are going to win. Because I know now everyone's going to be like, oh, Manly's actually going to be all right. They get Paseka back. They get Hamoli back. Their season's fucking turned around. Hey, now you cunts want to come out and say their season's turned around. Fuck off. So, Manly, they didn't look like $4 underdogs, did they? They played great. And for the first time, Melbourne didn't scare a team off. And that's what's brilliant about Melbourne, right? Melbourne, go in that first half in Melbourne, absolutely tear your ass. And they're like, all right, these cunts are giving up. Who cares? Manly went there and like, oh, we're not going to back down these cunts. We don't care. It's Melbourne and Melbourne. We're fucking here to play. And Melbourne's ill-discipline, and I know Bellamy was definitely not happy post-game. Ill-discipline. It looked like Roosters-esque. Sorry, we keep going back to them, but they're just the best example of ill-discipline. Poor Roosters. And their errors just gave Manly too much ball. And look, Bellamy, we don't say much about him, to be honest. We know he's the best. He coaches very well. I don't know why the decision was to put Joe Chan on Kohler. That was a terrible idea. Kohler absolutely cooked him that first half. And that's why they kept scoring on that edge. Brooks was fantastic as well, but Kohler was all over Joe Chan. And they kept scoring on that left-hand side and ended up being the only tries of the game because they were led 16-6 at halftime, and that was it. They only got the 2 points, which Harry Grant's done this before. Anyone wants to fight over that fucking penalty goal. We've seen him do worse, and this is a penalty. That's black and white, and the NRL, for once, have actually done something right. The ones that they jump in the air and they tackle him in the air, I'm against that. But when they go through the kicker's foot, that is a different story, and it's a penalty every time. So, Harry Grant, you idiot. Anyway, so now, Manly have now re-emerged as a team. And what I looked at next week is the spread is actually only 3.5. And I was thinking, how the fuck
is that 3.5?
How is that 3.5? And I looked through the injury report, and the greatest second row in the comp, and the terrorist of pretty much Bulldogs returns from a dislocated shoulder, and now they're ready for a fucking ambush because it's 2.0, it's finals all over again. It's Dogs Manly, 4 p.m. in the afternoon.
What a great game.
What a great game next week's going to be. But Manly saved their season, and now they have a charity, and they've actually blessed themselves so much, and you cunts don't understand. Roosters unfortunately play Melbourne next week, so they've essentially got a 4-point swing right here, and Manly have an opportunity to potentially knock Roosters out of the race if they beat Bulldogs, because Manly play Roosters the week after at Brookvale. So Manly have the most incredibly difficult run, but now that their season is back on track with this win at Melbourne, they're realistically maybe one win away from making the top 8, and the only team that really stands between them, if it's not Roosters, will be Dolphins, and I'm taking Manly all day. The masterstroke of moving Turbo to centre, I said it from fucking round 4. Turbo does not look like what he was in the past, but creating an extra player on the side of the field, again, worked on the left-hand side. Turbo swings to the other side of the field. You all of a sudden have an extra man, and Turbo, as much as his name is more than anything right now, the way he's playing, but it's enough to draw in defenders. And that's Manly for me. I love a team that is able to get to the other end and put points on the board. And Melbourne gave them enough opportunities in that first half, and Manly took the opportunities. We've seen this 1,000 times with so many teams. Knights today, Tigers today. They get all these opportunities because of ill discipline and stupid decisions from the other team, and they don't score. Manly actually put points on the board, and they much deserve with this victory. Their season's back on track, and it feels great to say that Sharks and Manly are back in the race. It might not be as easy as I thought it would have been, but these two are on their track, and in my opinion, the 8 is finished as of this week, with Manly and Sharks filling the last 2 spots.
For the sake of finals footy, I hope you're right, Chris, because as I said earlier, while Dolphins have an attack that can score against anyone, same with Roosters even, at the end of the day, Sharks and Manly have always been and are better sides than both of those brats. Moving on to this specific game, I wouldn't have seen that these cunts would go out there and win. Truly. Like, I didn't know it was going to happen. I don't want to rain on your parade, but I have to be honest for the podcast and our loyal viewers that tune in to us week after week and want to hear what garbage comes out of our mouth. Manly played good. Don't get it twisted. They were awesome. And I think the thing that you alluded to, Chris, is the most important thing, that in a league of 17 teams, at least 12 of them would have already lost before they fucking run onto the field going to Melbourne. Thinking that they're going to go and play these cunts throughout the week, they would already fucking mail it in. Granted, Melbourne go out there and score first to make it 6-2 after you guys had the run in the first 10 minutes. You're like, well, all right, now we're really fucked. In saying that, full credit to Manly for staying in the contest and not backing down to them for 1 minute of this game. Not 1 second did Manly look at them and be like, it's getting too hard. Or even at this point that it got to 16-all, they mentally were still engaged enough to go out there and fucking keep trying to get the win, unlike Knights. But when it comes to Melbourne, you can, as Melbourne's opposition, you can only dictate so much that, all right, you give yourself a chance to win if you do all the right things and play right and complete at 90% and execute in the Melbourne's 10-metre line. If Melbourne play good, you can't say fucked.
No.
I'm talking 16 errors, 6 against, 3 penalties. Sorry, I got that the wrong way around. 6 penalties, 3-6 against, and including that, one of them ruled out a Harry Grant try before halftime, which easily would have made Manly give up. Another one, Luke Brooks, you're never going to hit a 40-metre field goal. Can't wake up. You should have bombed it. But you got bailed out again by Harry Grant, giving you cunts the game-winning penalty goal. Otherwise, I know Hughes probably would have went down the other end and you cunts would give up and lose to him. If it was a 70 tackle set especially, you cunts were finished. At the end of the day, Melbourne really fucked themselves over in this game yet again. And I know I want the narrative to be that, fuck, we were so right, Manly went and won.
Yeah.
And the spread was definitely right with taking Manly 10.5, but for them to win, automatically, Melbourne had to just play like a bunch of inbreds. And the thing with Melbourne is, when they play the maximum degree of inbredness that they play, they still go out and lose by 2 to pretty good sides.
No. Well, that was my other point, and JB is going to like this part of the podcast, is you need all of that with Pappy not there, with Warbrick not there, with one of the... Why the fuck was Grant Anderson there? Anyway, all of this in the game, and they lose by 2.
Yeah.
All of this needs to happen so they lose a game. And why we say they're premiership favourites is... we're just explaining their losses so far. That Raiders game, how much shit went against them again to lose by 2? How much shit went against them in this game for them to lose by 2? Against a well-rested Manly side off a bye. Like, it's incredible. And not saying anything. Like, Manly are under strength without 2 of their best forwards. Fair enough. But still, and Melbourne didn't have their number 1 fullback there. All of this has to go against them for them to lose a game. And I don't think it's a loss that anyone will say, oh, bro, Melbourne, what the fuck? This was more do or die for Manly, and Manly did. And they look like they want to keep playing footy and not just give up on the season. And that is the complete reason why I think the 8's done. From the Roosters performance we saw to the Manly performance, I can't imagine Roosters going to Melbourne, and we'll see next week that they're going to play this much hard with them. They're going to throw the footy around. Don't get it twisted. But that's all that they can do. They can't kick the Tupou again because they have Coates. So they can't do that either. So, look.
Coates, fuck me out again.
Cracker game. Also,
Lehigh, bro.
one of the most underrated stars and truly maybe playing the best out of the backline, Ruben Garrick. You may have not saved that Coates try, but the fact you were there is incredible. Yeah. And that just shows the effort of Manly. I can't imagine Marky Mark fucking doing that, you Roosters scumbags. They would have not got there. So the fact it's a try and it was fine, but the fact Garrick was probably this far away, and you're lucky it was Coates. If it was like a Grant Anderson, Garrick would have caught him. Like, Coates is pretty quick. You cannot catch him. So shout out to him. He was insane. The whole Manly team played at minimum 7 out of 10 across the team. And that's what you got to do to beat Melbourne. Plus a few things go your way. Harry Grant being an idiot at the end to get the 2 points to seal the game. But it looked like this team is now ready to jump. And it is a jump next week. Because Dogs may not be able to score like Melbourne. But they are way more consistent than you fucking idiots, Manly. So 3.5's fucking short, but with Ola Kawatu and this particular fixture, anything can happen.
God,
so
that's short. Anyway.
It's very short, I know.
Moving on to Spastic Sunday. Yes, it was a very spastic Sunday indeed.
Covered.
Shout out to Harry, who was on the hill at live chart today. Shout out to you, my friend. Hope you enjoyed that thriller in Manila. Shout out to Charlie. Shout out to you if you still want it. I definitely don't want it for myself.
Why not?
Tigers, you guys suck ass. Yeah. And Titans, you guys suck more ass. What do you have for me on this one, Chrissy?
All right, Benji, your selections are pissing me off at this point. All right, Dewey has to be somewhere, and it's as simple. Just put him 7. Latu Fine is just not ready. The back line, when Buller comes back, will be Buller, Taruva, Skelton, Taylor May, Stafford Toa. Unit service, honestly, 8 worthy.
That's good.
That is a very good back line. Luai.
We just need a 5-8 now.
Oh, no, magical. If you just kept your hands, if you just wanted to play with this 19-year-old, this 1 to 7 plus 9 would have been...
Yeah, Tristan Hope. Woo.
No. Would have been brilliant. Brilliant. For the future, for current, they can build with each other. It's actually just the big... it's honestly stupidity from the Tigers players and board. Whoever made... how much they hated Galvin. Because right now, it looks like... Obviously, you guys won, so I don't want to say a lot, but as a Tigers fan, it truly burns me to think that this could have been your 1 to 7. And Taylor May, wow. I mean, wow. He was fantastic. For first game back, he looked great at left center. And honestly, was a strike weapon. He looked like best today. He was a strike weapon on that left edge. He gave, I don't even know. It's Jojo Fafita. That's what I mean. He didn't even fucking play. He got killed out there. I mean... Taylor May was incredible. Terrell May was great as well, but this decision, some of the selections outside of Dewey, run out there with Hope. Tristan Hope.
What the fuck were you thinking, Benji?
And you know what's incredible? Titans still lost. I don't know what to say about Titans. You know what's incredible? I'll tell you. You're gonna die at this. You might have to walk off. Campera didn't come on, bro. Just letting you know, he didn't actually play. What a selection.
Did David Fafita play more than 5 minutes?
No, he played the whole time. He was getting killed by Taylor May. It's same edge.
I don't even want to talk about this game.
Do you want to talk about Titans?
They're up there. Previous wooden spoon sides have been just shit.
Yeah.
Shit players.
100%.
A lot of injuries.
These cunts.
Bad coaching, lack of direction as a club. Think like the Tigers teams, the Eels teams in the 2010s that were awful. The Knights teams that were just running out 16-year-olds that won a few in a row. This Titans team is probably the worst of the crop. To be this far removed of cunts like Eels, Souths,
Cowboys,
Tigers, Cowboys,
Dragons,
who are awful teams, and you find a way to lose to all of them. The only cunts you've beaten is Knights. We'll get to them, but I have no idea how they lost this game. When Tigers repeatedly kept taking the penalty goals, I was like, they're going to drop the ball and concede straight away, aren't they? Which they did. The way Brimson walked through Jackbird, this can't turn into the 2025 Nathan.
No, but he won them. He covered them one game.
Fuck nah. I'm done.
Where's Nathan?
I'm done with Tigers. Like, my skin actually started crawling on the pod when you're like, fuck, look at this potential we had. Fuck these cunts. I don't want potential. I don't want potential. I want you cunts to play good. Can you play good? Can you fucking not run out Tristan Hope for literally no reason? Can you play Coruscant 80, who you decided to fucking re-sign? You shit cunts. God, this team's pissing me off lately. And Luai.
Start Tristan Hope like he's fucking old Paddy.
Yeah, I know. Wake up.
Old Paddy doesn't get it right.
I'm just going to say it. Luai's awful.
Yeah, Luai's.
Shout out to Crazy Pragmantis who comments this every week. This guy's shit. I swear on my mum's life, I'd rather Fletcher Sharp than this cunt. At least I know, like, we'll score through him. Because this cunt's, like, he has the captaincy armband. All the media goes through him. He promised hope for the Tigers fans. He's going to bring Penrith DNA into this club. And this cunt can't get one try assist.
Now, look, all right.
Legit, Taylor May's try with his brother passing to him, for God's sake.
Okay, and I'm gonna add this to the Tigers. I hope the Tigers faithful, a lot of people watch this podcast because the title will be they won by one or some shit. No, the title will be obviously Manly, and no one's gonna click onto it. But fuck me, they deserve it to be in the title. I said this at the start of the year, and actually I'm gonna call you up on this. I said by the end of the year this will be Galvin's team. This is why. This cunt isn't good. And if a lot of stuff about Galvin will be talked about for years, especially if he kills it at Dogs, which now that he's got a statue outside of Course Stadium, he's already killing it. But I said this earlier when Galvin was still there, they can only score if he's there. And it actually is becoming true. Unless it's May to May at this point, Tigers can't score. And Luai, as much as he is guiding the other half, he's not guiding him the right way. Latu final was awful today. And himself, like, other than his grubber, which you say all the time, he doesn't actually do anything out there.
Can't run the ball.
Nothing.
Can't create space for his outside man. Kicking game is mediocre. Doesn't really get involved on the right side at all. Anything that happens on Stafford is just him turning into Greg Inglis. What does he actually do out there?
Nothing.
He would be no different to having Tanner Boyd at this stage. He's just out there.
No, Tanner Boyd's...
I swear to God.
No.
What does he do? Tell me. What does he do? What is he out there for?
Townsend.
What are his pros?
He's goose step.
Who's it fooled? You played 17 gooses today. Who'd you fool?
You calling him gooses? I think that's too high for them.
That's praise.
I actually think like...
I can't believe Brimson scored that.
I can't believe how bad Titans are.
Yeah, they're the worst wooden spoon team I've ever seen. Not like that they would lose to the other wooden spoon sides, but for what they should have been, this is a fucking disgrace. How do you lose to Tigers?
Cunts came on our podcast saying they'll make the 8 at the start of the year.
This team's... They're just a disgrace. Like, there's no point beating a dead horse.
No, I said this before, and I'll say it again. It's been a few weeks. If you're a Titans fan, I'll give you eligibility to change team.
Yeah.
They don't give a fuck.
Tino got injured as well. I mean, wow.
Well, he kept playing, but he's out. Like, I don't think he'll play next week.
I think he's done for the year. There's no reason to run him out there with a knee injury.
Wow.
So now Titans...
Now
they'll win. Yeah,
now they'll win. But poor Titans, they don't have Kinney.
It was a heartbreaking way to lose. They deserved to win today. They were the better side. Tigers... How much ball can you cunts get down the other end and not score without just pegging it at Taylor May?
All right.
Their shape between Twal, Seyfarth, fuck me, I wanted to rip my eyeballs out. I couldn't take it another minute of that. And Hope in between them,
It did happen in this game, but I'm not targeting this at Belinda Sharp. I'm targeting it the NRL officials in general, because I should have said this at the start, because it's going to make it sound like Belinda Sharp's all you cunts did it. So don't worry. This play the ball shit, one, is the gayest call you could do. Two,
roll ball.
The roll ball. Two, we know it comes finals week 1. You cunts are not going to call anything. And on top of that, it happens almost every other set. And you cunts just don't have the balls to keep calling it. Because you're like, well, they had a quick play of the ball and the momentum and they need a try and I can't fucking have every game unders. Simple as that. You're not going to call it later. So stop bringing it back after not having it for 18 rounds. And now you can't want to.
They called it in round 1. They called it in round 20 and they didn't call it in between at all. So I don't know what, from round 19 or 18 or 17 to Origin to now, like why now have you cunts woken up and been like, can't roll ball, you got to use your foot.
And round 1, right, we said the ruling is too harsh. It genuinely is. It's way too harsh.
Yeah.
How can it be, oh yeah, the other team just gets the ball? What? Like, you guys...
Yeah, you're equating this to a knock-on, which is just like...
It's okay for someone to offload when you guys call hell, then he can just play it. But it's not okay to play it and not put your foot on the ball and give it to the other team. So I think the solution is, if you cunts want to keep calling it, is they have one less tackle. Just stop them on 4th. Be like, it's a 5th tackle now because you can't fucking roll the ball. It's as simple as that. That would be my change, because they will stop doing it because they won't have 5 tackles anymore. And on top of that, I think they should just go and call it. But I think they're strict enough in the ruck to not call it at all.
I have a better suggestion.
Okay.
Instead of doing the -1 tackle, because the ref's not going to keep all that, he's too retarded. Just be like, all right, stop, go back and play it properly, cunt. That will kill all their momentum.
True. You could do that.
You know how when they like...
The same thing could be just like 3 warnings. You do it 3 times. All right, I'll give a penalty.
You know how when they like walk off the mark and try and get an extra meter or 2 and the guy's like, go back?
Go back, yeah.
Just do the same thing. Be like, can't pick the ball up, wait 3 seconds, play it.
Yeah.
If you want to slow the game down, which every other decision you can't have made is to speed the game up. But anyway.
Except for this.
It's just really gay that...
It's okay.
Like, all right, we were against Warriors today, and I'm starting to despise you cunts. But... Even like Dallin's one, like...
That was bullshit.
Why the fuck are you giving Knights the ball on the Warriors 10-meter line just because of that? Like, they didn't even really get an advantage.
I'm not going to say any bullshit because Warriors got every call. But anyway.
That's fine, but I'm just using that as one example of a round of garbage, of just like, why did you wake up and decide that you want to call this again? Because, like you said, Chris, from the first game of week 1 of the finals, we're not going to get one roll ball call for the rest of the year.
They're not going to call shit.
Stupid.
They didn't call in Origin. Yeah, all of those were valid.
Yeah, no.
Because it's too much of a momentum shift to give the other team the ball where they are. What?
Yeah.
No.
Anyway, to put a bow on it, Luai, you really disappointed me. Tigers.
You guys really disappointed me.
You shouldn't even celebrate this win. It was despicable. Stop taking the 2 you can't defend. And Titans, you are genuinely the worst team
I've ever seen.
How long have you been watching footy for?
6-7 years. No, more.
Is this Titan side worse than the Dogs one that conceded 760 points?
Oh, yeah.
First year of
They
Sarala.
tried. These cunts like...
No, they didn't.
No, they tried.
No, they didn't.
They had Lachlan Lewis out there.
They had Liam Knight. And co.
Yeah, but like to the potential where Titans are, to say in a competition that we couldn't pick who's going to come last, we know with 8 rounds to go.
It's scary.
That's awful.
Really scary.
And the teams that everyone would have picked to come last, Para, Dragons, we said Cowboys, Knights because of injuries. For Titans just to be like, 4 wins?
Yeah.
4! And you have 2 of them against Knights, which don't even count.
Yeah.
Who have they beaten?
In a year of, set aside the last 2 rounds, underdogs winning and everyone being in every game, these cunts are the one team that are just not in every game.
No. Wow.
Or most games, to be fair.
Unbelievable.
Awful. Moving on.
No.
You're not going to do a quick haka?
No.
This one really made me sad, bro. I love Knights. I really wanted Knights to win. God damn it, Halasima. Piss off. How do you keep getting away with this?
How do Warriors keep getting away with it?
You know, Chris, you've been beating the drum for, I want to say, until Metcalf's injury, 17 rounds, saying that you're sick of this team, they're lucky, they're not good, blah, blah, blah.
They're lucky.
I'm emotional. I'm going to call it. I'm not here to disrespect the Warriors or their fans or the Waz Nation. But today was really frustrating to watch because I feel like in both games the wrong side won. doesn't really matter that much in the first game because they're both garbage. But for Knights to have played as well as they have played for 79 minutes and 55 seconds, and the way you cunts won, right? Manly winning off a Harry Grant penalty of hitting Luke Brooks' leg, to me was valid. But for you cunts to get your charge down blocked, and it just so conveniently happened to fall into Halasima's lap where he has acreage of grass in front of him with no one there. Yes, it was a fucking cracking run.
Oh, it was a great run.
And Halasima is a cracking player. I'm not taking that away from him. But just the way it all unfolded really stings me. I'm going to just call it what it is. I hand over to you, Chris, for your message to the Wires fans.
I'm going to go the last... Look, now that the 8 has been confirmed in my eyes, we'll see you guys in the finals. Because in my books, it's 2 and done for you cunts. Good luck going to Canberra and good luck hosting Penrith or hosting Brisbane. It's going to happen. You guys are going to win. Don't worry. You guys are really good with Tanner Boyd. As we clearly showed, Tanner Boyd's shit. Couldn't even kick. Did you see his field goal attempt? Did anyone in the Warriors see his field goal attempt? But I'm going to get past that. They missed the field goal. Cogger kicks a fluke. Well, I will admit, it was a fluke. He shouldn't have kicked that, but he kicked it. Now, then what transpired in the next 5 minutes, actually it started because these motherfuckers shouldn't even have had a challenge in the first place. That Dallin 2-point to make it 14 all. Why? Why was that a penalty? Someone explain to me. Tell me why it was a penalty. Can you explain how? If a player knocks it on into the other team and then someone hits him high, do they give him high tackle? No. But because Dallin's in the air, we're going to fucking say that it's a 2-point. I genuinely went to the bathroom because I knew that these cunts are going to challenge it and be like, it's unsuccessful because it's just a shit challenge. Knights get to continue. Not that Knights wouldn't have conceded because they were awful past this point. But I come back and it's 14 all. I'm like, what do you mean 14 all? Did they get the 2 points? I had to go back and be like, oh, they said that was successful. I was like, oh, it's all right. Cogger kicked the field goal. Then Tanner Boyd does that dog wank field goal. And then I hear, oh, it might have been touched. And Hussein knows this. And this is my pet peeve. When a team challenges and they get the ruling to go their way over some other garbage, it really pisses me off because they didn't challenge because of this reason. And they didn't challenge that Hastings wasn't square. But they got it, didn't they? He wasn't square, bro. He wasn't square. All right, he wasn't square. They didn't even check he touched it because it doesn't matter. He wasn't square. Tanner Boyd gets a goal right in front. And to be honest, Tanner Boyd is a decent kicker.
He's usually a very good kicker.
Shanks it. And then my favorite rule, and I was sitting there with my dad, and I was like, I love this rule because if you kick it out of the full in the normal field of play, guess what? Knights get the ball. But no, because we have a rule in the game that all of a sudden the penalty goal gives the ball back to Warriors, I was like, it's not done. They're going to find another way. It's Warriors. I said it. I wish I was recording because I literally said, it's Warriors. They'll find a way. No, they have 30 seconds left. My dad's like, it's done. I'm like, it's not. It's Warriors. Tanner Boyd kicks another field goal. Hastings charged it down. And I was lucky that ball, there was a few things that luck happened. Few things. One, if the ball went out or the ball actually died, and you didn't understand, you didn't get this one, they would have just challenged again. What's incredible about this sport is if Halasima didn't score, they would have challenged and won it because he wasn't square again.
Yeah.
So, this whole thing is not against Halasima. This whole scenario is because they shouldn't have won the first challenge in the first place. And they shouldn't have a challenge. Because they would have won that challenge, and they did. He missed the goal. But if Halasima scores, doesn't score, the ball goes out, or anything happens, guess what? They would have challenged again because they won again. And he was offside yet again. And now it comes back to my favorite segment, Knights, you morons. Tanner Boyd wasn't going to kick it from 45 out. You fucking morons. And you cunts are sprinting out the line like you fucking gangsters. And shout out to you got a charge down. But obviously, like you said, it falls to Halasima and they go score. But I don't think anyone would have thought of that. We're the only podcast to think of it because you were like, oh, Halasima, the piece of shit. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I know.
He didn't have to score because they would have just fucking challenged it again and it would have been another penalty.
Part of me is glad that he scored, so we wouldn't have lost.
Yeah, because we would have lost to the same shit. Because I would have sat there and gone, yes, Knights have won. They tackled him on the 1 meter line.
And then
he
you
didn't
would
put
have
it.
heard,
Yeah.
Check everything.
We want to check the whole thing. We got to check with the bunker that he actually put it down and etc. You know what I actually thought was going to come back? I actually thought Halasima was offside off the kick.
Like,
but he was conveniently behind the ball. But again, like all the scenarios turned to what happened right at the start, because even if he was offside, Hastings was offside first. So it didn't matter. So they were, as soon as they got to the opportunity of kicking that field goal and I saw Hastings offside, I was like, we're fucked. Because anything can happen.
Well, that's Knight's fault. Because you can't.
That's Knight's truth. Yeah,
you
just called it the first time.
You literally just got away with it 2 minutes ago, and you can't do the same thing this time from further out. 45 meters,
was
as if it's Nathan Cleary. Knights, you guys played good.
They did play good outside of
that. The second try conceded really pissed me off. Truly, and in fairness to the Warriors fans, if Egan's thing wasn't a double movement and he scored, we might have seen a record.
Oh, yeah, no. Okay, let's...
At 12-0, these cunts will completely finish.
Okay, for the Warriors fans, I'm probably screaming from the Dallin thing up to the end because you cunts got every call. But from before that Egan is a try. Like, I don't know what these cunts are on about. He didn't put his arm on the ground.
That was a 50-50 one.
And you know what was the pain? I'm sure the Warriors fans kind of felt a dagger go into him. Is the Marju try that his hand didn't touch the ground, which it levitated magically, and they scored. And when that happened, I was kind of like, all right, Knights are going to win, aren't they? And truly, the left-hand side of the field, I've never seen K-Paul get this pumped, but Best was amazing.
For the real ones, and Matt will back me up, 8 weeks ago, I said, when Bradman comes back, this is why they're going to become possessed. Because this cunt is like Greg Inglis for this team.
He was incredible.
K-Paul's no slouch.
Yeah,
no
I know.
Bitch.
But wow,
Trust
he cooked him.
But Bradman could do this to anyone, right? What pissed me off about Knights, when you cunts were possessed and scoring at will, one, you didn't convert any of your fucking tries. Because Gagai can't kick and neither can Hastings. Two, why do you not just go to Bradman's side?
Yeah, they don't go.
Why do you go to Crossland? Why do you go to Fletcher Hunt? Wake up.
Fletcher Hunt made that mad tackle, though, on Chanel. I thought it wasn't going to happen, but he tackled him.
What about when he didn't pass to Dom Young?
Yeah, that was awful.
Wake up, Fletcher Hunt.
There was also before when Best didn't pass to... No, when they went straight through and McEwen got it for no reason, he threw it backwards. There was another time Cogger went straight through and didn't pass.
See, all these opportunities to put Warriors away, in the Warriors' credit, their players...
they're there.
They were there again, and they have been there the whole year, but of all your bullshit wins, 4-point wins, 2-point wins, this was the most bullshit one that the wrong team won, and you do get credit for winning. You get the 2 points in the competition ladder.
That's
you
huge.
Probably cement yourselves in the 4, because between Brisbane, Sharks...
Penrith.
Okay, with a caveat. Brisbane and Penrith coming for your ass in that top 4 spot. And Sharks with the dog wank draw that they have, playing Tigers every other week and getting a bye. You actually were in jeopardy potentially falling out of that top 4, but...
Well, these cunts have Titans twice from here, so I mean, they've already...
They might lose one, who knows?
No, you can't lose the Titans.
For you guys to get out of that, to win the unwinnable, to snatch victory from the jaws of defeat the way you did, I feel like that cements you in the 4. And today's not the day for me to be like, you can't going to get raped in the finals.
Oh, no, it is.
If Metcalf goes down, you guys still make the 4, then you get a lot of love from Huss, and I'll back the G's out there. But just know, I just want you guys to know, and I want an admission that I will give you the last 15 years, everything's been hard for the Warriors. You guys get no calls. You guys get no fucking players coming over. People get homesick and they leave your club all the time. The refs hate you. You've had bad breaks here and there. I get it. But this year, you can't say I've been really fucking lucky.
I'll tell you.
Just one admission.
No.
You're good. You're solid. You're reliable. You're well coached. Halasima's a gun. Everyone stepped up this year. But you have been fucking lucky. That's all I want to hear.
I'll give him a true example of what I mean. And it all starts... OGs will know this, but last year, go back to any of our podcasts, this was the same with me, Bulldogs, last year. The NRL, as an entity, and I've called this for the last 2 years, chooses a golden child. It's nothing against them. They choose a team that they want to fucking publicise and keep fucking winning, right? Last year, it was Bulldogs. Does anyone remember when Stephen Crichton elbowed a Dragons player in the head, put his shoulder into the Dragons player in the head, that they said there was mitigating factors to say that wasn't a sin bin, and they sin bin fucking Flanagan for biting the same game? There's a golden child. Every year there's a golden child. And this year, it's Warriors. It took me a while to grasp
Actually,
it.
hilariously, it was against the Warriors when he hit Roger in
Yeah,
the
hit
head.
Roger in the head. There you go. Oh, yes, that was a good point. It was against Warriors. Warriors are the golden childs. And I should have actually identified them as that from week 2 when they got 100 calls against Manly.
That was insane.
But it's not their fault. They start winning, they start 5-0, and the NRL goes, you know what? We need something to pump up the league. And nothing better than a New Zealand team, which they've been getting no calls for 15 years. They're all this COVID period, they haven't played at home. What better to G up the Gs and have them getting some wins on the board because we're going to give them some calls? You guys are the golden childs. Unfortunately, the NRL doesn't dictate who wins the NRL, and Warriors, as golden childs, will not win the NRL. Maybe with Metcalf they would have, but they're not going to this year. You guys may be the golden childs and you may get every call, but the golden childs last year lost in the first round. Fortunate for you guys will make the top 4, so you're going to need to lose 2, and I think you will. But we'll get to that at a later date. Obviously, congratulations. I actually think this cements your 4. It's done because you have 2 Titans games, while Brisbane have 2 Melbourne games, and Penrith, well, they can't win 15 in a row, or can they? Who knows? But I think Warriors are in the 4. You got a date with Canberra. They might as well, as a bookie, you could release those odds right now if you want, because those 2 spots are probably not changing to the end of the year with their draws. And same as the middle game, maybe one will be at home, one or the other. But Warriors, congratulations. Halasima himself, what a fucking player. What a run. No one else could do that.
He could be a candidate for Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, I think it's him. Awesome. I forgot about him. Him or Lungi, I would say. He's been fantastic.
Now, I'm a very generous person, Chris, and you know this about me because, you know, we have history. We're close.
We have history.
I want to give a little nugget, a sneak peek teaser for next week.
Manly are playing.
Knights are going to get royally fucked by Raiders in a record margin.
You don't want to take
possibly you could see 70 on the scoreboard. Knights are done.
Yeah,
Knights are fucked after that game. There is no way at 6 p.m. on a Sunday afternoon, after having Halasima break their hearts, they're going to be like, we can't wait to go and try against Raiders in Canberra in 1 degree. Fuck that. 12.5, is that it? This should be 70.5. 70, I tell you. Death coming tonight.
There's a few that are going to give up next week.
Before we talked about recapping or we'll go doing whatever, I want to comment a bit on the...
Is that it?
Is that it? I want to comment a little bit on the ladder. So, as you alluded to, Chris, the 4 likely is the 4, but significant movement this round. Raiders essentially are your minor premiers. Holy fuck. Shout out to Ricky Stewart.
Yeah,
they may as well go and give you that Coach of the Year award right now. What a fucking season you've had with the idiots that you're running out there.
Well,
fuck me.
Can you give it to Webster?
Fuck Webster.
Okay.
Ricky's literally had the minor premiership with 8 weeks to go.
I tried.
In saying that,
Melbourne,
second. You can't keep losing by 2. Now conveniently you're 3rd again. You fuckwits.
Do you think they care
for
about
no
going
reason?
To a call?
So that actually does make the Dogs coming to Melbourne game a few weeks from now very important because it's going to be a 4-point swing either way. On the other side of things, Roosters, I'm putting a line through them, seeing as they play Melbourne twice and they go to Brookvale and they are shit intrinsically. I think they're out of the race, so we're left with
poor Roosters.
Technically 9 teams. Dolphins, the only thing going for them is that they play Manly and all these other morons, and their high-powered attack might get them in a situation where they can compete for an 8 spot, but I feel like the best case...
I think the 8 is the 8 right now.
The best case outcome is the 8 that should stay the way it is right now.
Well, I mean, they're going to be 2 great elimination finals between Brisbane, Manly, Penrith and Cronulla. If you got 2 that are been playing good pretty much the whole year and just fell behind at the start, they played well during the middle parts of the year.
What, Chris,
and 2 teams that are absolutely going to be red hot going into the end of the season.
I would absolutely love an elimination final that the Waz host. I kind of wish they would fall to 5 so that it could be like Waz and Sharks or something.
I would be scared for them because like Manly and Sharks, as much as we're saying that it's done, we're assuming that they're going to win like 60 or 70% of the games left, and they're going to be fucking hot, red hot.
Yeah, I'm saying Warriors will get killed, but I'm saying I would rather that than see them go to Canberra.
Nah. You know what? Let them enjoy the top 4. They're going to get a home final anyway. If it's against Penrith and Brisbane, then it is what it is. You get 2 opportunities at this.
You have 2 games to get into the prelim. You deserve that.
Yeah, but the only thing that Warriors kind of have against them, and this is nothing against Warriors themselves, is you kind of fucking got the short stick because if you have to play Melbourne or Dogs after a prelim, fuck that.
Yeah.
And they have a week off, it's a fucking awful. The team that goes to Raiders will have the most chance to make the grand final, regardless of how good Raiders are playing. Because whoever goes to a core and whoever goes to Amy Park, God forbid that happens, cunts are dead. Like, no one's going to go there and win. So the Raiders side is your side to make the grand final. And Warriors, unfortunately, have to play them first. So the fact they play them first, they can't play them till the grand final. They're going to have to play the other side of the draw. So I don't think they'll get to that point, but if they do, they got the short stick, and that's obviously without Metcalf. We can assume maybe Warriors would have been a bit higher on the table,
probably,
and maybe they would have been right behind Melbourne after this loss. But now that there's still 2 points behind them, and obviously they still have Titans.
They haven't lost without Metcalf yet.
Oh well, it's coming. Oh well, the game that they did when he went down, but they were going to lose that
anyway. Is what we're saying. Anyway. I hope you guys enjoyed this podcast as much as we enjoyed talking about round 20 of the NRL. 4-4 and best bets. Could have been better, could have been worse. The narrative is what leads this round.
21's going to be better.
What are your 3 takeaways, my friend?
Oh, well,
number
one is
Fly, Eagles, Fly.
Fly, Eagles, Fly. Look, I hope you guys were still a bit fucking lackadaisical through the middle of the park. Fuck me, you let some of those Melbourne players through too easily. But you guys got the job done, and I hope this springboards your season. And I said this before and I'll say it again. You give some of these teams hope. They beat Tigers and South. And all of a sudden now they go beat Melbourne. And now everyone wants to rate them. Tigers and South are nothing. But wins on the board means a lot to a ball team. And that's what it's meant to Manly. The other side is fuck you, Roosters. I truly despise the way you cunts play. And it all comes down to Trent Robinson. If you played like human beings and actually showed as a rugby league team you can play like that, I would be fine with Roosters. But the way you guys play, this is what's going to happen, and Sharks were just the better team on the night, and they are the better team overall, regardless of what any of you can't say. Oh, poor Roosters. No Savala, no Billy Smith. Poor Roosters. My final takeaway, and the cherry on top, is I've won a futures bet. In my opinion, my futures bet of Titans to come last at 13-1 should be paid out. It's done. And there's only a couple I'm losing because I don't think Penrith will make the 4 at this point. Titans to come last. That's a winner. Dolphins to make the 8. It will be close.
It's live.
Manly to make the 4 is gone. Minor premiership for Sharks is gone as well. I think I probably had a few more, but I don't remember what they were. But I want to say Titans, if you're a Titans fan, Clarkey, if you ever watch this, you're okay to change teams, in my opinion. This club is beyond anyone's help. Even Wayne can't fix these cunts. They're done. They're abysmal to watch. They're not even fun to watch anymore. And that's what they were last year. Fun to watch.
In my eyes, a round that was dominated by the Dogs game, the Manly game, and the thriller in Manila's on Sunday. What is overshadowed is how destructive this Raiders team is. Give them some love. For them to end up with 40 points. We're at a point with them where we're like, oh, yeah, Raiders did that. But they are now 15-3. And that is something to behold. Shout out to Ricky Stewart, Charles Kroon, and the Canberra Raiders. Fuck me, you guys have been good this year. Second to
Cowboys.
Cowboys, I can't imagine you cunts running that back line out there again. But the fact that you probably will, and in even shitter fashion without Talangi, really makes me excited to watch you cunts next week.
They play Dragons and it's 4.5.
And number 3, shout out to the All Blacks who will be back. And who will miss this round. The jersey will be back up there. Don't think I forgot about you, Adam Reynolds. You son of a bitch. See you guys next week on the Back Yourself podcast. Peace out.